In this presentation, we will understand the if-elif-else statement. So without any further delay, let's get started. The first topic of this presentation is Introduction to the if-elif-else statement. The second topic is Program Divisibility Test. Let's get started with the first topic, that is Introduction to the if-elif-else statement. We know from the last lecture that the if-else statement is used when decision has to be made among two alternatives. If the condition of the if statement is not satisfied, we know that the else statement will be executed. So we have two alternatives, and when the decision has to be made among them, then we can use the if-else statement. So there can be a couple of statements in if and there can be a couple of statements in else, and we have these two alternatives. Either the statements inside if will be executed or the statements inside else will be executed. We know this from the last lecture. Now let's understand what is if-elif-else. The if-elif-else statement is used when decision has to be made between more than two alternatives. So if it is the case that we want to make decision among more than two alternatives, then in that case we can use if-elif-else structure. Let's first see the syntax and then we will see the example to better understand how to use if-elif-else in real world. Let's consider the syntax first. The syntax looks like this. If condition 1 is satisfied, then statement inside if will be executed. This is the usual check. We are well aware about this. Else if, or in Python we say elif. The keyword is elif. We can call this else if. Else if condition 2 is satisfied, then the statement inside else if will be executed, or we can say the statement inside elif will be executed. Else, if it is the case that neither of these conditions is satisfied, then statement inside else will be executed. So here we have three alternatives and the decision has to be made among these alternatives. So we can use if-elif-else structure. I hope the syntax is clear and the flow is also clear. It is always the case that first the condition 1 will be checked. If it is satisfied, then the statement inside if will be executed. If it is not satisfied, then only condition 2 will be checked. If condition 2 is satisfied, then the statement inside elif will be executed. Otherwise, if it is not satisfied, then only the else statement will be executed. This means that the statement inside else will be executed. I hope this idea is clear. If it is not clear, then it will be clear with the help of an example. Let's consider one simple example. Let's say that x is equal to 5 and we want to check whether x is equal to 5 or if it is less than 5 or if it is greater than 5. This means we want to check three different conditions. So if it is the case that x is equal to 5, then we will print the message x is equal to 5. If it is the case that x is less than 5, then we will print the message x is less than 5. Otherwise, we will print the message x is greater than 5. Let's do this now. If x is equal to 5, then print x is 5. We can either type x is equal to 5 or x is 5. Now, let's check this condition. If x is less than 5, then what happens? We know that if x is less than 5, then we must print x is less than 5. Now here we need elif. So we'll type elif x is less than 5. If it is the case that x is less than 5, then this statement will be evaluated. This means that x is less than 5 will be printed on the screen. Now what if x is greater than 5? We know that if x is not equal to 5, and if x is also not less than 5, then it will definitely be greater than 5. So there is no need to put another elif here and check this condition x is greater than 5. We can use else statement. We know that if these two conditions are not satisfied, then it is guaranteed that x is greater than 5. Hence, the else statement will be executed. And inside this else, we want to print x is greater than 5 because we are sure about this, that x is definitely greater than 5. After this, finally we want to print done, regardless of whether these conditions are satisfied or not. So done will be printed no matter what. If we execute this code in Visual Studio Code, we will get this output, x is 5, done. Why is that the case? Because x is equal to 5, therefore this condition is satisfied. This condition will not be evaluated, and of course else will not be executed. Only x is 5 will be printed on the screen. After this, done will be printed. So this is why we are seeing this output. Now what if we change the value of x to -2? -2 is less than 5. We know that x is not equal to 5, but x is less than 5. Therefore, x is less than 5 will be printed and done will be printed. So the output in this case is x is less than 5 and then done. What if we change this value to 10? This time x is 10. X is neither equal to 5 nor it is less than 5. Therefore, else statement will be executed. This means that x is greater than 5 will be printed on the screen and done will also be printed. Therefore, the output in this case is x is greater than 5 and then done. I hope this example is clear and now you know exactly what if-elif-else is and how to use this in real world. Let's move on to the next topic, that is program divisibility test. Now we will see one program to check the divisibility. Now we need to write a program to test whether a number is divisible by 2 or 3. So we will check whether a number is divisible by 2 or if it is divisible by 3. First, we need to take a variable and we need to store some value in it. And we'll check the divisibility of that number which is stored in that variable. Let's say that that variable is n. So let's take n equal to 10. Now, let's check whether this number is divisible by 2 or not. How to check whether this number is divisible by 2? We can divide this number by 2 and check its remainder. If the remainder turns out to be 0, then this means that this number is divisible by 2. So let's check this now. If n mod 2 is equal to 0, we know that mod operator returns remainder and not the quotient. So when we divide n by 2, we will get remainder from the mod operator. If that remainder is equal to 0, then we are sure that n is divisible by 2. So we will print this message, number is divisible by 2. Now what happens if this number is divisible by 3? We need to check this also. As in the question it is written, WAP, which means write a program to test whether a number is divisible by 2 or 3. We must check the divisibility by 3 as well. Therefore, we should type elif n mod 3 equal to 0. This time we need to divide the number by 3 because we want to check whether the number is divisible by 3 or not. And if the remainder turns out to be 0, then we will print number is divisible by 3. So if the number is not divisible by 2, then we will check this condition. Is the number divisible by 3? If it is the case, then this message will be printed on the screen. Here we are using elif because after if check, we can go ahead with elif check. Now we can use the else statement to print that the number is neither divisible by 2 nor it is divisible by 3. Because we know that if these two conditions are not satisfied, then the else statement will be executed. And in that case, we want to print that the number is neither divisible by 2 nor it is divisible by 3. So if else statement will be executed, then we know that number is neither divisible by 2 nor 3. And finally, we want to print done. We know that 10 is divisible by 2. Therefore, this condition is satisfied. Hence, number is divisible by 2 will be printed. Along with this, done will be printed. Therefore, the output of this program is number is divisible by 2, done. What happens if we change this value to 15? We know that 15 is not divisible by 2. Therefore, this condition is not satisfied. But this condition is satisfied. 15 is divisible by 3. Therefore, number is divisible by 3 will be printed and done will be printed. Hence, the output of this program is number is divisible by 3, done. What happens if we change this value to 17? 17 is a prime number. Neither it is divisible by 2 nor it is divisible by 3. Hence, the else statement will be executed. This means that number is either divisible by 2 nor 3 will be printed and done will be printed. Therefore, we'll get this output, number is neither divisible by 2 nor 3, done. So with this, I hope it is clear how to write a program to test whether a number is divisible by 2 or 3. Now let's execute this code in Visual Studio Code and see the output. Right now I'm in Python work folder, and within this Python work folder, I have created this file divisibility_test.py. In this file, I have written the entire code. You can type this code on your own. Now we are ready to run this program. Let's click on this terminal and click on new terminal. Let's type Python divisibility_test.py to run this program. Let's hit enter. We are getting this output, number is divisible by 2 and then done. Why are we getting this output? Because n is 10. Let's change it to 17 and let's see what's the output. Let's save this program and let's run this again. Let's type the same command. You can use the up arrow key to get the same command. You don't need to type this again. So use the up arrow key. You will get this Python divisibility_test.py. Let's hit enter. We are getting number is neither divisible by 2 nor 3 and then we are getting done. So with this we can say that our code is working correctly. We have completed the introduction to the if-elif-else statement. We have understood what the if-elif-else statement is all about, and we have learned how to write the program to check whether a number is divisible by 2 or 3. So with this we are done with this lecture. Okay friends, this is it for now. Thank you for watching this presentation. I will see you in the next one.